Hey guys, I am here today with the Nike Invincible Run 3. Now, I had the first version of this and I wasn't overly keen on it, to be honest. It was a little bit too unstable and wobbly just for my liking. Plenty of ZoomX foam, but it just didn't have something. It was just missing something. And I feel like that this third version has brought together what that first version needed. So the upper to start with, the upper is a fly knit upper that we've got here. There's not a huge amount of padding around the inside of the heel or up the sides of your ankle, but I feel like there's enough there just to keep it nice and comfortable. The materials feel really nice and it does feel like more of a premium shoe. One thing that I'm really impressed with is to create the stability with the upper, they've made this heel counter very long and very firm. And you don't get that in too many shoes, and I think that's where Nike have seen that it could be a little bit more unstable through the heel. So what they've done is they've extended this heel counter out to about there, so a long way down, to support and stabilize that heel to make sure it comes down and lands in the foam nice and straight. Now you've got the plastic clip around the outside here, and that holds that foam into place around that heel cup. Your foot sits into the foam, probably around about a centimeter or so. So it's actually quite deep through the outside of the amount of foam that your foot does sit into. But again, that does stabilize your foot really well. And even for people who kind of over supinate, so roll outwards, because of this clip and because of how wide the foam is actually really stable laterally as well. I've had a few patients come in with a neutral shoe, or if they've got quite a supinated shoe and they go towards, say, a Hoka Bondi, I've noticed that the Bondi does tend to collapse quite easy on the outside. With this one here, it kind of forces you back inwards a little bit, and because of how durable and responsive the ZoomX foam is, it does tend to work out a little bit better. Where we've got the extra thick through the front, it's still a rockered shoe. It's still not flexible through there. So it's along the same lines as, I'd say, a Hoka Bondi, but I'd say that Nike have just gone all out and just done a better job, basically. So yeah, back to the upper, we've got plenty of lace holes through here. It's not too padded or anything again, and it's almost like they've tried to keep some of the weight down on this shoe, just due to the fact that they have got that extra foam through the sole, and they've got quite a broad coverage of outsole as well. But I feel like they've done a good job with the upper. I don't see the need for having much more extra padding unless you love an extra plush shoe to go around your ankle, feel ultra soft. Then no, it's probably not the shoe for you. But at the same time, there's enough there to make it nice and comfortable, not have any edges that are rubbing. The tongue isn't stuck down, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice if they had put little gussets on the side of the tongue to hold it in place like they do with a fair few of their other shoes. But possibly that would have taken up a bit of extra room inside, or possibly it would have made the shoe a little bit heavier. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm a big fan of those tie downs to keep the tongue into place. The sole itself, so obviously we've got a full ZoomX sole, and I hate to say it, but it's brilliant. You've got plenty of energy return, plenty of feedback. You feel like you're bouncing and you can kind of go all day long. No, it's not a racer. No, it's not going to be for going out and going ultra fast, but for kind of recovery days, days where you just want a slower, easy run, this is absolutely perfect for. You could run in this like anything up to marathon. I'd have no issue with recommending my patients to have that at all. With a foot that does pronate though, I'm not really going to recommend it. And it's because when I put this on, I just feel like automatically the shoe kind of pushes me in a little bit. So just to create that extra stability through the outside, I'm not sure what they've done, but it does feel like my foot is moderately pushed in, and I can't really deal with much extra pushing in because I suffer from shin splints. And although they've got the extra stability through here, so we've got no movement barely whatsoever, and we've got fairly fixed forefoot as well, is the shoe does push me in a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have had a more neutral feeling of when I come down landing fairly flat. And I'm not sure entirely why they've done that, if it's to promote gait going further forward or style of running for heel strikers. Obviously when you heel strike, you're meant to land on the outside of your shoe there and then come down through the outside a little bit. So possibly having that extra bit that I can feel through the outside here is to stop too much lateral instability and keep your foot a little bit smoother and straighter. So the foot isn't going to go over too much, just for the fact that the shoe does wrap underneath the arch quite a lot. But we've also got broad areas through the front and back that increase stability once again. And then we've got the fact that torsionally, it's really, really rigid, like really good. Yeah, look, overall, I'm really impressed with it. And I hope that they have the Nike Vomero, the next one that's coming through, that's a little bit more similar to this. I think that a lot of the stuff from the old versions could possibly be passed down into that shoe, and I think it's a bit of an underrated shoe. But for anyone looking for a slightly more maximalist, high bouncy, energy return shoe that's going to be comfortable for mile on mile, highly recommend this shoe. Yeah, go out, give it a go, try it on, and I think that you'll all be surprised. And I'm even surprised about the weight. It's not that heavy feeling, despite the amount of foam that we do have here. I'd like to thank Nike at Pacific Fair and Broadbeach for supplying with these tester shoes so that we can bring you guys the latest and newest reviews.